Hey folks, Reloading Bench back again, and tonight I'm going to tackle this root beer and then try and deal with a sandblasting light kit that I'm going to make. I'm going to upgrade my blasting cabinet. I have a little tabletop from Harbor Freight that has a fluorescent light in there, and it completely sucks. And I'm tired of the cabinet too, so I'm going to visit Harbor Freight soon and pick up their floor standing model. And there's a bunch of videos out on the net by a number of people that have done some upgrades by Tacoma Products. If you just do Harbor Freight and Tacoma online, it'll take you to the website. And they offer a pedal kit, a better way of enhancing the cabinet to be what it should have been. They also sell a light kit, or light kits. And I thought to myself, that'd be a fun project to try and tackle. I mean, it can't be that complicated. So I went down to my local big box shop, picked up, this seems to be the favorite type light, and mainly because this halogen, indoor-outdoor halogen, because of the glass and the blasting, the media, not trashing that so bad. So the light, obviously your plug, power, a junction box, light switch to turn the light on, the actual light itself, a couple of plugs to fill some of the holes in this junction box that I won't be using, and I picked up a couple of different face plates. One's textured and round, the other is just genero. I think this one was a couple bucks, this one was like a couple cents. And then I had some, whatever these things are called for wires. It's late, it's a long day. So this shouldn't be a complicated project, I would think. Dust left over from previous projects. So let's kind of get started. And forgive me if I'm not talking, but if there's nothing to say, I don't need to hear myself talk, and you probably don't either. So I'm thinking this will be a pretty simple effort. And there's never enough room on the bench. I'm going to loosen this a little bit so that it's straight. And I'm going to wire it up, but more for testing it than actually anything else, to see if it works. Or rather, to see if all the pieces should work. Let's see if my limited, sweetness. So it comes with plugs, so these are going back. Score already. Okay, so I picked, this is the closest to black. It's actually bronze. But I did this instead of just a standard electric, your bare metal junction box, simply because I did not, wasn't sure what I was going to do, and that fits very nicely. So essentially it'll be on the cabinet like this, and then this light will be off to, obviously, the aiming right if it goes on the left side. I thought I'd do one light, see how that works out, and from there potentially do a second light if needed. So I'm going to be careful in how I cut this stuff or not, because if I totally F it up, I will return it because I boo-booed. So there's my 9 feet of cable with power, neutral, and a ground. So my thought was, what I'll probably do is get a piece of wire to go from, can't really see that too well, the ground here into this ground. So my thought was, let me kind of throw this on the bench a little so it doesn't fall all over the place, that pick a side, doesn't matter which side is front. So I'm going to, I'll probably get a grommet for here to dress that up a little bit, as I don't see a grommet in here. I could also drill this out because it's a plastic one, but I'm not going to worry about that, at least not for tonight. So I'm going to do hot to here, and naturally that's not going to want to play because it's too thick. So I will go old school, and we will screw that in. They sure don't give you a lot to work with. Okay, so that is good. I will try and get the ground. Ideally, what I'll probably end up doing is cutting these wires so I actually have more to work with. I think I'll come down on it like that. That's not going anywhere. Okay, so that's good. This would come in through the bottom. A lot more wires here. I will screw this in, but I wouldn't do that until the cabinet is ready. But for the sake of finishing this video relatively quickly, we'll stay consistent as opposed to trying to snap it on the back. Just so you know, it never works when you're trying to video, but when you're not videoing, it works just fine. Okay, so we have that wired. Let's do our neutrals. Okay, so technically now everything is wired. I'm going to throw this in here, screw that in. Get that one started, and then do this one. So apologize for the lighting, but I didn't want to break out all the lights for a quickie effort tonight. for a somewhat interesting video. Or at least interesting to me. I'm guessing this is centered. We'll find out when we put this super cool light switch on. Alright, so essentially this is what we'd have in the cabinet. You would have that in the cabinet. Cabinet would be here. This would be shining down, so aiming at my project work. So this one was textured and a little rounded and heavier duty and beveled, and it looked a little more industrial. This is your standard builder grade. That's good. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to keep. So I'll try this one. Wow, even the screws are all tied up. Oh, it's all dented and shit. Oh, look at that. That's tacky. That's going back. I'm not going to overpay for something that's already damaged. Didn't notice that at the store because the packaging hid that. I was actually trying to find black to match the case, but that didn't happen. All right, so there. We are done. Now, the moment of truth, to see if I blow my shop up. I like the rubber seal and the grommet inside. Okay, so we are in off position. I am going to throw everything into this box. And plug it in. Okay, we're at 13 minutes. That was a decent build. All right, 13 minutes. We're in an off state because I don't want to get shocked for something I may have done incorrectly. Here's my finger, and there's my light. And let me make sure I'm not touching. Booyah! So there, 14 minutes to build a light, everything total. I'm in this for 40 bucks. And that is 50% cheaper than anything online that I was seeing that would do the same thing. So, nice build. All done. Till next time.